Hey guys, TMCC here. Welcome back to another video, and today I've got my friend's Lackawanna FM H24-66 Trainmaster, Lionel set 6-18375. This engine baffles me because the part number being a 6-18 would, to me, suggest that it's an older model, so it's going to have the screws in the front and the back. It's got low detail. It doesn't have anything fancy electronically, but no, this is not that. This has all sorts of stuff. It has Trainmaster command control, it's got Odyssey speed control, it's got dual motors, rail sounds 5, directional lighting, electrocouplers, and there's a couple more details in here that I'll show you when we get this out. The other interesting thing is that the box is positioned like that. This is the first diesel I have that you pull it out the way you pull out a legacy steam locomotive. So I don't normally do unboxings, but let me try and get this out here. Okay. Doesn't have any foam wrapping in it, but this thing is very nice, to the point where me, who models the Redding had a couple of these. In the era that I'm modeling, they had what did they have? They had 4. They had 2 freight and 2 passenger, I think. But yeah, here it is. The reason that I'm considering this for my Redding is because of the headlights. This is the only Lionel FM Trainmaster I've found that doesn't have the absolutely ridiculous fisheye headlight up on the top here. The Redding only had on one hood, I can't remember which, they had the upper headlight, and on the other hood they had the lower headlight. But this is way better looking, in my opinion, than the dual headlights. But like, the detail on this thing is insane. It's got really nice handrails. It's got these nice see-through vents. These fans spin. I'll show you that in a second. It's got this operational drop-down plate up here. It's got chains. I need to fix this railing. It's got movable coupler cut levers. Like, holy cow, this has got some stuff. And these vents open. I'm going to see if I can do it here. It's kind of tricky. Sometimes you have to hold it upside down. But I promise. There they go. So now you can see right through into the motor. So I think that is pretty sweet. And it smokes really well, which is excellent. So I'm going to change the camera angle here so that you guys can see a little bit better the detail. I'll bring you guys in again and show you. And there is something that needs to get fixed. I'll get to that in a second after I'm done fawning over this thing. So yeah, so I think there was supposed to be a drop plate on this side, but it's since been deleted by playful hands. Can't be sure though. It's got these really nice suicide steps up here, again, movable cut levers. It doesn't have fixed pilots, but, you know, whatever. I could probably make some if I got one of these. It is long hood forward, which is great for me because the Redding only ran long hood forward until, I think, 1954, and then they started switching over all of their locomotives to be short hood forward because, yeah, it makes more sense. Here are the see-through grates with the fans that spin when the smoke unit operates. These are those movable vents that are absolutely insane. Really nice handrails. It's got engineer figures. I don't know if the window's open. I haven't tried. Don't think they do. It's got this nice vent up here. And then a very similar thing on this side. So Really, really, really nice engine. It's also got chains everywhere. But the reason it's on my workbench today is because there's an issue with the sound system. This does have Rail Sounds 5, but it's a little bit choppy, we'll say. It's almost like staticky. I'm assuming it's a bad speaker. I'm hoping it's not a bad Rail Sounds board or Rail Sounds power board. I do have a spare power board for Rail Sounds 3, but getting a Rail Sounds 5 sound card today is going to be impossible. So if that's the problem, we're kind of dead in the water here. But I'll start with a speaker, and hopefully that'll fix the issue. Yes, I did move my lamp to make this engine look better, because it looks that good. So let's power this thing up here, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about with the bad sounds. So I'm not sure if you can hear the static, but it's pretty intense. So that's what we're going to be trying to fix. This is the speaker that we're going to be putting in it. This is identical to the one that's in it currently. This is a, what is this? This is an 004-04 8 ohm 2 watt. Made in Thailand. K06CD. It's a baby fat boy, I think. Very cute little speaker. Very strong magnet. But we're going to put this in here and see if that fixes the problem. So getting the speaker out of this thing is actually not that hard. I'm going to flip it over here and try not to bend any of the very nice handrails. So there's a screw up here, and there are 2 screws back here. And now the whole speaker housing just lifts off like that. So here's our speaker. One of the wires was actually detached when I first took this out, so I've since reattached it because I didn't know if that was the one causing the problem. But it was not, as we can tell by the fact that it still does the thing. So let's break out this speaker here. So there are 2 smaller screws to get this out on opposite sides of the speaker. I'm going to do my best not to misplace these things, because oh my goodness, these are teeny. And now that housing is completely detached. Alright, so I'm going to need to desolder these 2 wires. Nice thing about speakers is that they are basically just resistors, so the polarity doesn't really matter. Alright, that's out. New speaker, let's melt the solder that's on here. Okay, let's put this back in here. There we go. Alright, speaker is in. Let's just real quick throw this back on. Okay, and that's the speaker replaced. So let's throw it on the test track here and see what it sounds like. Power it up here. You might be able to see the fans spinning up here. It sounds way better. Way better. So here are those fans. Right now I've got the smoke unit turned off. If I flip it on, they kick on. There's a separate motor inside of the shell, right on the end of the nose, that controls these fans independently of anything else. I originally thought that it was part of the weirdly shaped flywheel, because there's magnets on the end of the center screw, or the center idler gear. And so I thought the flywheel was turning the magnets, which was turning these, but it's not. It's a completely separate system, because it runs on smoke unit and not motor speed. So anyway, now that I know that this sounds really good, we gotta do a sound demo.
Lackawanna 850, please stand by. There is track work in progress. Over. Copy that. 850 here. Standing by. Now. You are good to go. Over. Very good. We're good to go. Now. Dispatch, this is Lackawanna 850. We're on our way. Over. Copy that, 850. Out. You are clear. Over. Thank you, sir. Now. You are clear inbound. Over. Thank you, sir. We are coming in. Now.
So there you have it. That was my relatively simple repair, actually. Just had to swap out a speaker, and it sounds good as new, of this Lackawanna Trainmaster. Again, I want one of these really badly, but it cost $400, and technically speaking, it's 1 year out of my era. The Reading got the first batch of 2 freight and 2 passenger FM Trainmasters in 1953, and my era technically ends in 1952. So like that's how I'm justifying not spending the money on it. But it is very accurate to what the Reading had, minus the headlight position. But pretty much everything else is spot on, except these vents are reminiscent of the Phase 2 FM Trainmaster, which the Reading did have, but they didn't come until I think 1954 or 55. The Phase 1, which is what the first 4 were, didn't have these vents. It just had these front 3 on both sides. So little details like that. But if I ever got one of these things, I'll certainly make a video going through all of the details about like the little minute spotting differences with the Reading versions, what's going to be inaccurate about my model, and then I'm going to go through and try to detail it to make it as accurate as I can, obviously paint it, and I'll bring you guys along for the whole journey. But don't expect that anytime soon, because these do not come up often. There's no neighboring FM Trainmasters. It's just this Lackawanna. For some reason, this was all they decided to do, and it sucks because the sound set's really good, the body style's really good, the detailing is beautiful, and I vastly prefer this horn and bell to the modern Legacy one. I can't stand how that sounds. If they came out with one that had 5 horn options and this was one of them, maybe, but Lionel doesn't seem to be bringing back any of the Rail Sounds 5 or Rail Sounds 4 horns or whistles, which is really a shame because they sound really good. But anyway, let me know what you guys think of this engine down in the comments. Again, I absolutely love this thing. My friend absolutely loves this thing. I'm going to go give it back to him tomorrow so he can enjoy it. And yeah, anyway, I am CW Hollow 1, and have a good day, or maybe good night in your case. See ya.